It's still Friday, September 20, 2024, and continue with the CDL. Why I'm not surprised? I'm gonna show you. First of all, I didn't cover the engine number there, where I'm pointing. Now I'm watching through the phone. Yeah, there. Let me cover this shit. All right, covering the engine number. We are talking about the CDL. All right. Now, I just cleaned a little bit, not something crazy. All right. To get some measurements, to inspect a little bit the block, a little bit the cylinder head, a little bit one piston. I get the number one because it was there in front of me, and I get the number one. All right. The cranks are bearing caps here. One by one. Let's start one by one. Let's start from the piston ring. Piston ring, the top ring, where I'm pointing. Okay, it's half millimeter, 0.5. Okay, me usually I'm making it 55 to 0.6. Okay, past this one. All right, let's remove the piston ring. Next thing, what I'm doing, this was from the number one, doesn't matter because it's not in the best shape. All right, keep it there. This is for the number one. I'm putting the rest here. So yeah, then forget on how they looks like the cylinders. All right, you get the piston number one without getting any measurement. You put your finger here and you do the simplest thing. You insert inside of the number one cylinder, you turn 90 degrees and you take it out, and you see that it's going in and out. All right, you do the same thing on the number two cylinder, and it bites in one spot, but never mind. I'm gonna pass also the number two cylinder. Lovely. Let's go to number three. Number three cylinder, you put inside, you turn it. Okay, there is one problem, I'm gonna show you later. Number four cylinder, it goes in and out. Now, if I don't want to leave the piston to heat down, all right, yeah, doesn't matter. I'm putting the piston inside and it goes in and out. All right, I'm gonna try this way. It will not gonna go inside. It will not gonna enter inside. You want to see the value? It's very simple. It's the Delbor cage. I didn't zero it completely exactly at 83 millimeters. It's 100 millimeter more tight, I think, 82.99, something like that. Doesn't matter. It does matter. I'm gonna show you why it doesn't matter. I was expecting that. All right. Number one cylinder near top dead center. We have 200 millimeter greater. All right. Fine, I'm measuring there. If I go more down, we have something like a little bit more than 300 millimeter. A little bit more than 300. Now, let's go this way. All right. We have here, let's go up. Here we have 400 greater. Then we go a little bit more down. We have 700 greater. All right. Here 600, near the 600, down. Let's go to number three. Number three, let's see this side. This side, we see that it is greater by 500 millimeter, the cylinder, at this point, where I'm pointing. All right. Now, if I turn it this way, wait, where was it? Now this way, we see that's tighter by almost 300 millimeter. There was one spot that was even worse. Here, if you go a bit more high, it's at almost 500 millimeter more tight. Well, I'm here. If I move a bit more down, see what's happening. I mean, yeah, officially it's one of the worst cylinders that I have seen. And like I've said on the previous video, I'm expecting to see that, because with the way how they're doing it, it's very thin, the cylinder, the machine, the deck, the machine, the block, all right? Then they get one very thin cylinder, they put it inside, they press it inside, they put a glue or whatever they're putting, I don't know what they're doing. So then there is nothing to machine, you just make the cross hatch. Whatever distortion has a cylinder, it's like a potato chips, you know, it goes like that with waves. You see more clear the line there for the sleeve. and there, the edges I'm talking about in all of the cylinders. The good thing is that they didn't crack the block, because usually I have seen before blocks that they are cracking because it comes very thin, the wall here and down there, and from down you see a crack. In this case it didn't crack, but it's all over the place. Okay, if it was, you can be more smart if it was at 82.5 millimeters and then they make it 83, slowly honing it to be nice and round and don't be like an egg. Then finish with that. I don't have to mention that I'm not gonna close the engine like that, obviously. I mean, I can put everything back, but don't expect something good out of this, and I'm gonna explain why. Let's go to see the crankshaft bearing caps. Past the number 1, let's see the number 2. On the crankshaft bearing caps, that's what you're expecting to see. You are expecting to see one nice clean surface, machined surface. It has one very small minor imperfection here, but overall it looks okay. Alright? It doesn't look bad. That was the number 2. That's the number 3. Number 3 also acceptable. It looks nice and beautiful. You can see the machine lines inside. I didn't get any measurements yet, and doesn't matter. I'm gonna show you why. First you inspect to see that you have a healthy parts. Alright? Number 4. Nice, beautiful, decent. You don't see any sign of a sandpaper or something. The only thing what you see is the machining lines from the axle, the shaft that's passing inside, and it's machining the main line. All right, let's go to see the number 1. Boom. Number 1. We had here one naughty main bearing, because what happened here before, not with these main bearings. The main bearings, I have it here, I have it in order. It didn't happen to this, obviously. The previous one, you can see also the lines. These lines, what you see. Focus, stupid thing. On the bearing cell. These lines is corresponding to the lines that has the cap. Because once upon a time, before, one bearing cell here, it was spinning with a crank inside of the cap. That's why you see all this thing. That's the number 1. Let's go to see the number 5. Number 5. Has also some wear. This you have to send to the machine shop, and you have to make sure what it takes. Sometimes, it depends how it is here. You have to machine this and this to come a little bit lower, and then you have to hone it again to come nice and true. Alright, and you're gonna do it in all of them. You're gonna remove, let us say, 100 millimeter, 200 millimeter to make it round, and then you do it again. Let's continue. No, let's see the main bearings. This is the thrust washer. That's the front thrust washer. Where am I? That's the rear thrust washer. Nothing crazy here. It's not, it has a DSG transmission, does have manual, so you don't have a push plate, to push. Then let's see the main bearings. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. These are the upper. All right. It doesn't matter, I have to put a new one, and obviously I'm not gonna put a new main bearings with the bearing caps like this, or the block like this. I'm gonna show you. That's the 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 lower bearings here, and it doesn't look so good. Once again, it might be, you're gonna tell me, Tassos, it might be the contamination of the ethanol, to contaminate the oil. I doubt, from what I see here. I doubt. I don't know if also if the crankshaft is okay, to be honest. Need to send it. But as soon as I have the block at this state, the cylinders, the crankshaft bearing comes like that, it doesn't make any sense to get more accurate measurements. It's sending it at the machine shop and see what they're gonna tell you. Now with the cylinders, what they're gonna do, I have no clue. We're gonna find out. Then, let's make the block from down to see what's going on. This is the number 1. And you see the same things here. This is the number 2. This didn't happen by me. That's the number 3. If you ask me, it's supposed to don't be like that. It's supposed to be like this. This is supposed to be without this line on the side, like this. It's okay. Not like this. All right. So, main line cylinders. From here you can see the sleeve better, I think. Yeah, you can see the step. What in hell has 2 steps or what? That's how does it looks like. Yeah, let's see the other cylinder. Here's the other cylinder. There is a hair crack. I don't see it. Yeah. That's the number 3 cylinder. I'm not against sleeving a block. Okay, on a cast iron block, you're gonna tell me to save the block, what are you gonna do, right? Yeah, okay. I'm not against it. Just if it happen, if you do it with the right way, I'm all in, no worries. You know? That's what I have to say. For the block, for the bearing caps, the crankshaft, okay. Pistons, I didn't even get any measurement from the pistons, to be honest. Connectors are not gonna have any problem. The small end, from what I saw, it's not suffering. I don't see it being squeezed. I have the tool, I can measure the small end and the big end when and if it comes the time. Piston rings, like I said, forget it. New one. Pistons, if I have to reuse the same ones, I have to get a measurement. It's this. You might have a piston slap, piston rattling on the cold start until you warm up and expand the piston. That means it's not the ideal. Do not expect to make 100,000 kilometers with these pistons, all right? It's for different applications. I'm not saying that there is a problem with the pistons. I'm saying that it depends the application, what piston you're gonna choose. Lovely. I'll show you this. Let's go to the head stud, cylinder head stud, all right? What I did, I brought the cylinder head inside, didn't wash it at all. As it was outside, I just bring it in. I remove this washer over there. You see that there's no washer, it's just the cylinder head there. Down, you see the washer. The washers, they have these notches here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 notches all around, all right? That goes and you put it down, and as soon as you put it in place, then when you tilt the cylinder head, they don't fall off. They don't come out, all right? Now, this one, it's from the stud. This is the washer from the stud. For me, for my mind, all right, I'll gonna understand if someone gonna say that, you know what, for his reasons, I don't know what's the reason to do such a thing, but I'm just saying, somebody gonna say that, you know what, I'm gonna remove the OEM washer, that's nice and thick and bigger, the outer diameter, and I'm gonna install the washer of the stud. Okay, I understand. Or I understand, let us say that, you know what, I'm not gonna install this washer from the stud, and I'm gonna keep the OEM washer because it's spreading the forces, the clamping forces or the force on the cylinder head much better since it's wider. What I don't understand this. To put a washer on a washer and on the head stud. Me, I don't understand. For some people, it might be reasonable. All right. So you see the outer diameter. Do you see? See the outer diameter of one and the other one? This is smaller, all right? And if you put side by side and you watch it, you see that also the thickness is different. This is the OEM, this is from the stud. So once again, if I close the engine, if we fix the block or if we get a different block or whatever, I'm gonna tell you this, what I'm gonna do, what I will gonna do. This washer, I'm returning back to the customer, I'm keeping the OEM washer, and I'm gonna work with that. Now, it makes sense to continue with the thing, and I have to check all the stupid valves now one at a time to see the height and why they did that. Why the Why somebody to touch the tip of the valve? If it's Ferrea valve, that this what's supposed to be, right? It has a negative. Yes, has a negative. This is how it's supposed to be. It's precise. You don't have to touch it. They touch it for different reason. Most probably for the valve seat or whatever. And surprising, it's not touching the rocker arm. Dang it. With one hand. Alright, stay there. It's not touching this piece here is not touching on the retainer. Alright, okay. If they machine the top of the valves properly, correct, and not like this. This looks like that you get the angle grinder and you just clean the top one. See how that looks like. If you machine it properly, I'm not gonna say anything. You measure something, you see something, you say that, you know what, again, has hydraulic lifters. It doesn't have, it's not mechanical lifters, it's hydraulic. It's still hydraulic, right? Yeah, you see, I can squeeze it. It does have oil pressure inside. Yeah. I know one thing for sure. If I had this block with these signs that you have to sleeve it with the crankshaft bearing caps like that, I'm not gonna say to the owner to spend money on the studs, on the pistons, on the connectors, on the billet camshafts for the specific block. It's much better to find one used on healthy block at 82.5, make it nice 83 millimeters to be beautiful. Alright, and work with the healthy parts, not trying these kind of things. But that's me, I might be wrong. Now, I'm gonna continue a little bit. I will gonna get a measurement from the crankshaft, even doesn't matter, but just for my curiosity. I wanna see what's going on. The mains and the connection journals. I will gonna remove two valves. If I see something that's completely gone, I will gonna put on the video. Otherwise, it stops the video here. It's not a good news. And I didn't want to open the engine from the first place. They said to me, no, open the engine to see how it is inside. I put a camera before and I saw the cross hatch on the cylinder wall. I said, okay, as soon as it's visible, the cross hatch is fine and all good, you know, keep it running like that. Why you want to have a headache? Now you have this. And you have one asshole, that's name is Tassos, telling you that, you know what, this is gone, it's not gone. If you put together, you're gonna run. Don't ask me for how long. You're not gonna choose this engine at this condition for performance application. You're not gonna choose even for a bone stock, but okay, yeah. If you don't have any other choice, what are you gonna do? Lovely, that's it, that's what I have to say. Whoever agree or disagree about the washer, it's your problem, it's not my problem. That's my opinion. Washer on a washer, it's unacceptable for me on a stud or on a head bolt or whatever. That's it. Yeah. Standing by, if I found something, I will put in a video. Otherwise, uploading the video as it is. Thank you. The crankshaft looks much more decent than all the rest of the parts. Now, let me predict the future. Let me tell you something. Someone on the comment section, he'll gonna go and say, Tassos, if you torque down the crankshaft bearing caps and you put the torque plate, this run out, you're gonna disappear. And I'm gonna say, if on a cast iron block, you're gonna make 500 millimeter run out by torquing down the crankshaft bearing caps and torque plate, then it's not a cast iron block. It might be from a plate doll. Or let us say, okay, you're gonna tell me that this, you're gonna fix it, let us say, if you put the crankshaft bearing caps, right? Shit, it's stuck. Alright, so if this comes straight, what's gonna happen with the rest? Just a question, you know? Yay, lovely. I have the same video from a CJX, I think. Oh shit. Yeah. And it bites also the number 2, but in a different spot. I think somewhere like this here. Yeah, never mind. That's it for now. For any news, I'm gonna make a video. Otherwise, that's it. If they said to me to close by again as it was, I will gonna close it, no worries, but do not expect so many things out of it. Makes sense, right? Thank you very much. Over and out.